Hey guys, want to show your support to the channel and get some awesome rewards at the same time? Then go check out my Patreon page where at whatever tier you choose that fits your budget, you'll get plenty of rewards such as updates and announcements on the regular, exclusive sneak peeks of my videos before they go up online, get yourself credited, and receive a special shout out at the end of my videos and more. Go to patreon.com/AckleyAttack44227 to start pledging today. And don't forget to also check out and consider gifting me any items I have listed on my Amazon wishlist and even supporting me on my Streamlabs tipping page that'll also help support the channel directly. Links are in the description box below as well as on my link tree for you to check out. Thank you and enjoy today's video. Take care. Hey folks, I'm officially going to be attending Retro GameCon Spring Edition this year, taking place at the new Elite Gaming Arena at the Atrium Building over at Clinton Square up in Syracuse, New York on Saturday, May 17th from 10 a.m. until 7 p.m. I'm going to be there all day and I'm going to be cosplaying as Amber from Genshin Impact. So if you see me there in person, then by all means come on up to me and say hi. Hope to see you there.
Hello, I'm Ackley, SamAttack4427, and aside from me being a well-known content creator on YouTube, I'm also known for putting together some pretty awesome cosplays. And a lot of that may be is because I actually do own a really good number of them. Now I'm not just talking about the normal varieties such as sci-fi and comic books, I also mean the incredible kind from stuff like movies, TV shows, video games, and anime. And I love the hell out of them. I enjoy looking like the characters I dress up as, and whenever I wear one for either a convention, a photo shoot, or anything else in particular, the experience was well worth it. So I'm doing a series talking about, well, everything revolving around cosplay. We're gonna go over everything ranging from some of the new ones that I've put together, what you can do to actually be a really great cosplayer, and to see if the experience will be well worth it. So sit back, relax, and get your sewing needles ready, because this is CGS, aka A Cosplayer's Guide to Success. Alright, well, man, it feels good to, of course, be in this outfit once again. Yeah, I guess I know ballet season won't start up again until this fall, but hey, I really do like being in this outfit. Well, I guess you could kind of get the idea with give it to what I'm wearing right now, so yeah. Hey guys, this is AckleyAttack4427 here, and welcome back to another episode of CGS, aka A Cosplayer's Guide to Success, and yeah, I guess you can pretty much tell I'm, of course, pretty much backing one of my favorite cosplays that I did last year, which is, of course, my ballerina version of Ruby Rose from RWBY, and yeah, I guess it is for a good reason for me to be back in this outfit for sure, so yeah. And I know for the fact that this, alongside my ballet version of Lai Reng, also from RWBY, was actually made for a special project done by the people of Cosplay Tea Time for sure, but I guess currently, as of now, nothing's come up of it very recently, but hey, I'm still really loving this cosplay for sure, so yeah. And I guess it's quite fitting enough, I'm of course backing, of course, pretty much my Ruby Rose wig with, of course, the tiara and flowering, of course, the wrist cuffs and arm ruffles, and, of course, this nice little ballerina outfit with, of course, the main leotard and the cute little tutu as well, with, of course, the belt and Ruby's emblem alongside, and, of course, moreover, can't forget about my tights and my ballet slippers, hands down. So yeah, I guess you can pretty much see where I'm going for with, of course, this one. And, well, I guess I figure for today's episode, given to, of course, what I'm actually wearing, there is one certain subject matter that does actually involve cosplay for sure. And thankfully enough, that actually does tie into, of course, everything that goes on regarding cosplay contests for sure. So yeah, I guess it's quite obvious whenever you go to a convention and you sign up for, of course, the cosplay contest or a masquerade or whichever by far, you pretty much get what you normally expect for sure. Like, of course, we've already discussed craftsmanship and walk-ons for sure. But there is one thing revolving around cosplay that also comes into play for sure, and well, I guess it's a good thing I've actually strapped on my ballerina Ruby Rose cosplay because believe it or not, with, of course, today's episode, by far, we're actually talking about the subject matter of course, well, putting on a cosplay performance, hands down. So yeah. And I think you know exactly what I mean by far when I say putting on a cosplay performance, hands down. I mean like the really great stuff to really entertain the entire show, which actually requires skits, hands down. So yeah, I guess it is quite fitting enough that I should talk about this subject matter in today's episode by far, because if anything, cosplay performances, or cosplay skits, as we like to call it, is, of course, pretty much one of many driving forces of a cosplay contest by far, and of course, pretty much of anything, skit performances actually do pop up for a cosplay contest for sure, or just performances in general at any cosplay contest, at any convention that you would actually go to for sure. So yeah, and of course it's quite obvious that when I actually got my start in cosplay, I actually did do a pretty much a few skits that I actually did for sure that I'm actually really quite proud of for sure. Even when I revisited doing a skit pretty much back in 2023, it was actually quite nice for sure. And I know that's saying a whole lot because, well, I do have a strong fascination with a performance and sound, pretty much ranging from, of course, dreaming of course, pretty much as a kid, dreaming to be one of the famous movie stars, or, of course, pretty much performing on stage, just like that, hands down, And let's not forget to mention, for a separate video that I hope to do on this channel, I will dive into, of course, my pretty much my performances that I did. And of course, several musicals that I did during my high school years for sure. So yeah, but don't worry, I'll get right on to the hang if I finally can get around to it for sure. But regardless of course that front, I definitely want to talk about the subject matter of course, well, putting on a cosplay performance, hands down. And, well, thankfully, through my careful research and everything, I have pinpointing every single bit of detail on, of course, how to do exactly that for sure. So yeah, and of course, with me, and of course, pretty much in one of my ballet cosplays that I have on, we're gonna dive into exactly that. And of course, before I begin, I just want to give a big special shout out to Novice Cosplay for serving as the main inspiration for today's episode for sure. As such, their videos on their YouTube channel and even their posts on their Instagram giving all sorts of tips and tricks on how to put together a cosplay performance will definitely help out with, of course, what we're going to be talking about here today. So So yeah, I'll be sure to link all of Novice Cosplays links down in the description box below if you want to check their stuff out for sure. So yeah, I guess either way, that's of course what we're actually going to be diving into for sure. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into, of course, all the tips and tricks that I can gather based on my own research and everything on how to put together a cosplay performance. Alrighty then, well, now that we finally got the introduction out of the way, let's go ahead and dive right into the subject matter of putting on a cosplay performance, hands down. So yeah, I guess a lot of you guys may be wondering, pretty much of anything, what are some of the main factors, of course, putting together a cosplay performance, hands down, for sure? Well, through my careful research and everything, and of course, based on my own analysis, there are several factors and stuff on how to actually do exactly that. So yeah, and of course, we're going to be going through each and every single one of them right now to really help out, and of course, pretty much putting together a cosplay performance, hands down. I know I definitely need those tips. Yeah, I definitely know that I need those tips, hands down, because, well, I guess with me in this outfit, I definitely need all the ideas I need. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the first key factor on putting together a cosplay performance, and that being the good old question: what makes a great cosplay performance? Now that's actually a really interesting question by far, because, well, in order to get the idea, of course, putting together a cosplay performance, hands down, you need to understand the factors on what makes a cosplay performance great, hands down. So yeah, and of course, it does lead to, of course, some really good varieties, hands down, and of course some massive factors that can really come into play for sure, with of course the first one being you have to make it easy to understand. So yeah, pretty much of anything, establishing everything in order to get a full understanding of your performance, hands down, that is of course the key factor for all that, hands down, for sure, if you really want to make your performance great, for sure. So yeah, whether it be you would come up with your own story, or of course, pretty much of anything, do something completely different, or of course, well, you want to put together a nice little dance, for sure, to which give it to this outfit, I kind of really want to, for sure. So yeah, but of course, if you find a way to actually make it pretty much understandable in a way that you can get into easily, that will really help out in the long run. So yeah, and of course another thing you do have to play into all that, hands out, is that you have to have a complete story. So yeah, every single performance has to have a beginning, a middle, and the end, so you really have to follow that structure, hands down, for a really creative story that you want to come up with for your performance, hands down. So yeah, and of course, let's not forget to mention, you also have to have really great acting skills, hands down, whether it be through your own voice, hands down, or of course, pretty much through your body, hands down. So yeah, pretty much having good acting styles can really help you out in putting together a really great performance, for sure. So yeah, and that is of course the key factor to all that, so that can really help you out in the long run, for sure. So yeah, and of course the most important thing you can actually pretty much do to make a cosplay performance great is that you can actually add your own little touch to it to really make it unique and interesting, for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much either way, pretty much whether it be something that you can actually come up with to meet with your own style, hands down, I think it can really make your performance absolutely fantastic in a way that a lot of people can actually get into, hands down. So yeah, either way, I think pretty much of anything, those factors alone is, of course, what makes a cosplay performance great for sure. And of course, if you actually do all those factors hands down, you're going to be on the road to, of course, putting together a really great performance hands down for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much what I could say, of course, on that front. Alrighty then, well, now that we finally answered the question on what makes a great performance, now we can really get right on to understanding, of course, what kind of a skit that you can actually work into hands down, or actually work on to really making a great hands down. So yeah, and that will of course lead to the second factor, and probably the biggest one, and of course putting together a great cosplay performance is, of course, well, you have to come up with a cosplay performance hands down. So yeah, that alone is, of course, something that can really help you out, of course, that front for sure. So I guess for starters, in order to actually come up with a cosplay performance hands down, there are actually three major factors, of course, pretty much all that we're going to get into, and that being, of course, pretty much of anything, a recreation, a reference, and, of course, an original skit hands down. So yeah, and of course, we're actually going to be diving into those three hands down that could really help you out, and of course, that front for sure. So I guess pretty much if you really want to come up with a really great performance, one of those three factors hands down can really help you out for sure. Like, of course, for starters, is that you can actually reference your favorite me into your skit for sure. So yeah. If, of course, there's something from, of course, a show, a movie, an anime, a game, or whatever that you really admire, that you really want to reference hands down into your skit to really capture the feeling of course, the original source material, reference skits can really help you out, of course, on that front, and you can definitely working other bits of me as well that could really help you out in the long run if you really want to make it great for sure. So yeah, as long as, of course, it actually ties into, of course, everything that goes on for sure, I think you're gonna be in for pretty much one hell of a amazing performance that you can put on for sure. So yeah, and of course, another thing you can do is, of course, you can recreate the your source to the me that you're cosplaying from for sure. So yeah, pretty much referencing the me that you're cosplaying from is, of course, really good, but actually recreating one hands down, that alone is, of course, really well deserving of that hands down. Like, of course, well, there's a whole lot of variety that you can do for recreating a pretty much the me that you love hands down. Like, you can actually recreate a really nice Pokemon battle. You can actually pretty much recreate the transformation scene from Sailor Moon, or I guess, if anything, you can actually get your friends together and actually do like a whole idol pretty much a performance hands down, like in Love Live for sure. So yeah, and that's just to name me a few for sure. So yeah, referencing your favorite me is one thing that can really make a performance great, but recreating the me that you absolutely love and you really want to cosplay from, that alone is, of course, one thing that can really benefit you in the long run for sure. So yeah, that alone is, of course, one thing you can do, and well, if you can't do either one of those, then you've always got plan C that can really help you out for sure, and that being, of course, you can come up with your own original skit. So yeah, either way, if you actually got some bright ideas in your mind that you think would actually fit in well with, of course, the me that you're cosplaying from, I say you can actually do exactly that for sure. Just still admiring the me that you love, that you want to cosplay from. But you also have to think outside the box and really use your noggin to really to really help you out, and of course, making an original skit for sure. So yeah. Either way, I think pretty much of anything, it would really help benefit you out in the long run for sure. So yeah, whatever the case may be, is that whatever you can come up with, hands down, I think you can be guaranteed to, of course, make a pretty much your cosplay performance look great for sure. But it doesn't stop there. There are a lot of other things you can do in order for you to come up with your own performance, hands down, depending on which one of these three factors that you can actually pretty much work on for sure. Like, of course, you can pretty much get inspiration and ideas to really make your skits in any category, hands down, that could really benefit you, and of course, pretty much on the ideas that you can come up with for sure. So yeah. Pretty much of anything, it's always good to look back on other sources and, of course, some cosplayers that you really love and admire to really get some really great ideas to really make it great for sure. So yeah, and of course, with what I said earlier about using your brain for sure, that's another thing I should mention. Always brainstorm in the long run for sure. Like, of course, well, what I mean by that is that it's not just looking at other skits that you can actually get ideas from, hands down. You gotta check out existing scripts. You gotta try pretty much a worksheet and a writing prompt for sure, right? And always expand your always expand your horizons and add more variety to it. And of course, well, re-engage your source, hands down. And of course, the most important things you can actually do is that you can pretty much take notes, of course, what you can find to really make it look great for sure. And of course, just so that you won't get overworked, hands down, always remember to take a break for sure. So yeah, it always feels good to slow down so that way you won't be overworked and stuff with too much of everything that goes on for sure. So yeah, either way, I think pretty much of anything you can really get yourself somewhere really great with coming up all sorts of ideas, hands down, and with everything that I've actually mentioned for sure, that could really help you out in the long run. Alrighty then, well, now that we got the idea of coming up with the cosplay performance, hands down, I think in order to really make your performance look great for sure, we also have to understand that there are two different types of course, cosplay performances that we need to delve into, and that's exactly what we're going to do for sure. And of course, aside from, of course, the three main categories of a cosplay performance, hands down, those again being recreation, reference, and original, there are actually two different types of cosplay performances, hands down, those being a solo and a duo for sure. So yeah. So I guess for starters, solo skits for one thing is of course pretty much the one thing that of course usually happens almost every once in a while for sure, right? It's actually mainly done by one person, hands down, so I guess pretty much of anything, if you don't have anyone else to turn to and want to work on one by yourself, then you can actually go solo for sure. Now, I am fully aware that there has been a lot of solo skits, hands down, that have actually competed before, and those are the ones that really help out in the long run for sure. And yeah, either way, I think pretty much of anything, solo skits is of course the one thing that really pops up for sure, and those actually really do help in the long run. And then there is of course the pretty much the more popular, and of course the one that really pops up the most, duo skits for sure. So yeah, and it actually doesn't stop there, because of anything, duo skits usually pretty much is mainly done by, of course, two people that is, of course, willing to put on performance together, while another, another one, and of course, that same category, those being group cosplay skits, they mainly consist of more than about 1 to 2 people for sure, but mainly up to about 9 to 10 people for sure, depending on, of course, the rules and stuff for the cosplay contests at conventions for sure. So yeah, it does actually pretty much vary every once in a while for sure, but either way, duo and group skits are, of course, the most popular by far when it comes to cosplay contests and performances, hands down. So yeah, either way, those two categories are, of course, the ones that you can actually pick out if you really want to make your performance great. And of course, pretty much of anything, I guess in order to do exactly that, pretty much in order to do that, pretty much if anything, when it comes to both those categories, they all have each and every thing that they actually having a common for sure, and that being, of course, you have to select group members, and of course, remember the level set before you actually start. So yeah, you really need to bear in mind is that for cosplayers, much as human beings as we are, we do have our own statuses, of course, pretty much, of course, which title we receive as cosplayers for sure, whenever we enter a cosplay contest for sure. So you really gotta understand for the fact that when it comes to selecting members, hands down, you have to remember the level set that they're giving for sure, so that way it won't actually be clustered up when you really think about it for sure. So yeah, that's one thing that you need to bear in mind for sure. So yeah, and another thing that can really help you out in the long run is, of course, well, pretty much of anything, if you are working if you are actually working with other people, hands down, you gotta work together as a team for sure. So I guess depending on what ideas that you can come up with, whether it be you guys be on the same level or all that other stuff, always remember to work together as a team for sure, because if anything, you really have to understand for the fact that that there are ideas that could bounce off one another, so I think by working together, hands down, it can really help you out in the long run, even if when you actually come to disagreements with, of course, other people, hands down. So yeah, they're actually the main factor, of course, helping make your performance great for sure. So yeah, either way, I know, hands down, I have yet to work with other people if I ever do perform a group skit somewhere later on down the road, but I do know working with, of course, other people, hands down, would really help you out in the long run. It's kind of like saying being on a team at a sport that you love competing at for sure, or of course you're working at a restaurant with a brigade for sure. So yeah, working together is, of course, the main priority, hands down, and I think you can really benefit, of course, on that front for sure. So yeah, and of course, the most important thing when it comes to performances, hands down, is that, well, you have to do rehearsals ahead of the convention and cosplay contest, either by yourself or with your group, hands down. So yeah. And of course, that can help you out in the long run. So if you want to make your performance great, always remember to do plenty of rehearsals beforehand for sure. So yeah, pretty much of anything in order to do exactly that, that could there are some things that can really help you out, of course, on that front. Like, of course, you can actually find a good location at pretty much at your local pretty much your own rehearsal studio for sure, whether it be at home or a studio that's available for you. or pretty much at a ballroom at the pretty much at a hotel close by to the venue of the convention for sure. That of course you want to utilize to really make your performance look great for sure. I think that could really help you out in the long run. So always remember to do plenty of rehearsals beforehand. That could really help you out in the long run for sure. So yeah. And of course, another thing you can do is, of course, you can actually bring stuff like, of course, your phone and camera with a tripod and stuff. And of course, pingers, tape, and of course, a Bluetooth speaker hand sound. So yeah, all those hands down will really help you out. And of course, rehearsing your skit for sure. Like, of course, for painter's tape, you can actually pretty much lay it down on the floor in order to pretty much playing out the staging of course, your performance for sure. And of course, the Bluetooth speaker can really help you out. And of course, providing the audio that you need for, of course, your performance that you want to perform at for sure. And of course, bring your phone and camera with a tripod and everything. That could benefit in the long run because, well, you really gotta capture pretty much you rehearsing your skit on camera for sure. So that way you can actually pretty much get a full understanding on, of course, what works and you want to leave in. Or, of course, what doesn't work and you want to fix up before the performance hands down. So yeah, pretty much of anything with all those hands down, that can really help you out. And, of course, pretty much, of course, rehearsing a skit be a massive benefit for sure. So yeah, but I guess either way, I guess with, of course, what I've actually said, those can really help you out in the long run for sure. So yeah, depending on, of course, which type by far, I think you're going to be in a really great place for sure to really make your performance great for sure. So yeah. Alrighty then, well, I guess pretty much of anything, now that we got that done, we might as well move on to, of course, the fun bit, of course, making your performance hands down, and that's where the technical aspects come into play for sure. So yeah, and of course, the pretty much the fourth main factor, hands down, is, of course, the fun bit, of course, pretty much putting together your performance is, of course, well, recording and editing your performance. So yeah, either way, if you've got the tools that you need to, of course, make your performance look great for sure, I think you're going to be in a really great spot to really make it great for sure. So I guess for starters, you pretty much, in order to do exactly that, you gotta have the proper equipment and stuff, like, of course, a camera, a microphone, and plenty of other stuff, and of course, bits and pieces of lighting, and maybe a green screen or two. And that's just to name me a few. So yeah, I think either way, that is, of course, one thing that can really help out with, of course, pretty much recording pretty much your skit hands down. Now, when it comes to editing, that's where editing software comes into play. So whether you choose to pretty much, if anything, depending on what ones that you can actually do, depending on if the con needs it for sure. Editing software is, of course, really important, hands down, for both audio and video for sure. So yeah, and of course, there's a lot of great ones out there that you can really go for, hands down. So yeah, whether it be Adobe Premiere Pro, Vegas Pro, Magic's Final Cut Pro, and all that other stuff for video and stuff. And let's not forget to mention Audacity and Adobe Audition for audio. And that's just to name me a few for sure. And there are even several times that both different types of editing software can do both for sure. I think you're going to be in a great spot to really edit out your skit for sure. So yeah. Now, when it comes to editing your pretty much your performance hands down. When it comes to audio, always remember to, of course, adjust the audio tracking and add in music and sound effects and stuff to really make it exciting hand sound. So yeah, either way, if you're left with, of course, just nothing but pretty much the sound of your own voice hand sound, it can actually be quite boring hand sound. So pretty much of anything, adding music and sound effects can really help you out and, of course, really make your performance really exciting for sure. And of course, just to help out with, of course, the audience's ears and stuff, always remember to adjust the audio timing for sure, right? And of course, pretty much the tracking of course, the audio for sure, that can really get you in a really great spot for sure. So that way, so that way your performance won't be too quiet, where the audience can't hear anything, or too loud, where of course they'll blow their eardrums out for sure. So yeah, getting pretty much the timing and of course the tracking of course the audio can really help you out in the long run for sure. So yeah, and of course, pretty much of anything in regards to a video, depending on pretty much if a convention requires you to, of course, provide a video and stuff for your performance for sure. Always remember to work on a background video for your skit for sure. So yeah, and that does differing depending on the cosplay contest at each convention. Sometimes they require it, other times not so much, or maybe somewhere in between for sure. So yeah, but either way, that is of course another thing that can really help make your performance great for sure. And there's a lot of stuff that you can actually do for of course that front for sure. So like of course for starters, if there's someone who is of course with a disability and they can't actually hear the audio for sure, always remember to add captions and stuff to really help out and of course providing people with disabilities for sure. So that can really help you out in the long run. And of course, pretty much of anything, there are several times and stuff where, of course, pretty much of anything, if of course one person is deaf and has to communicate through American Sign Language or just sign language in general, they actually do have a ASL person pretty much right around on the corner of the stage and stuff, providing a bit of sign language and stuff for the person actually attending that said performance for sure. So yeah, always remember the good people learning sign language for sure. That can really help you out. But either way, adding captions is of course one thing that can really benefit in your performance if you want to make it look great for sure. So yeah, and another thing you can do is, of course, you have to enhance and, of course, make adjustments so that way it will not make it distracting for sure. Like, of course, you can actually add effects, overlay, and, of course, pretty much subtle animations that could really benefit in the long run for sure, as long as, of course, it ties into everything that goes on within the video for sure. So yeah, and always remember, if you want to incorporate different characters for sure, and of course you're on the stage by yourself for sure, always remember to use different characters pretty much on the screen if you actually can for sure, because if anything, if you're left with just by yourself on the stage and of course yourself on the screen, that will lead to a lot of confusion hands out. So you gotta use different characters in order to do exactly that. So yeah, and of course, pretty much of anything, pretty much art styles is of course another thing you can actually do hands down. Like of course, pretty much of anything, the most important thing pretty much on that front is of course drama equals an interesting art style, and comedy equals of course well, I guess what I meant to say is drama equals an interesting art style, and of course comedy equals a mismatch art style for sure. So yeah, I guess pretty much either way, different art styles for your performance, hands down, also can really benefit you to really make your performance great for sure. So yeah, like of course, for example, when I actually did my first two skits at the cosplay contest at TorCon in the past decade, when I went as Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, I actually did dabble into, of course, pretty much a bit of a comedy and stuff to really help benefit, of course, and of course my performance, and it really did pay off for sure, and I did get some really good laughs. And of course, when I actually performed in my ballerina Barbara cosplay, and of course that's a cosplay contest for sure. It was my first attempt at, of course, doing a nice little ballet dance gig for sure, and for what it is, I really do think the whole idea of course, incorporating Swan Lake actually fits in well within Barbara's character in Genshin Impact, So yeah, either way, with of course the art styles hands down, as long as of course it actually fits in with of course the character that you're cosplaying from, hands down, I think you're gonna be in a really great spot to really make it fantastic for sure. So yeah. Alright then, well, I guess pretty much of anything, those are pretty much all the things that you can do to really make a great cosplay performance for sure. But we can't forget about one other factor, hands down, when it comes to performances, hands down, and that being, of course, well, making common performance mistakes for sure. Now I guess pretty much of anything, pretty much making mistakes in your performance does happen every once in a while, but if you really want to avoid all those hands down, I can name quite a few mistakes that are actually made that are pretty common for performances, hands down, with one being rushing and ending pose for sure. So yeah, that alone is of course pretty much of anything. If you pretty much don't have anything else that you can actually think of, and you're struggling to actually end your performance on a high note, sometimes rushing it can of course be one downside to all that. So I say definitely take your time and actually pretty much come up with a really great, fantastic pose as you're pretty much coming up with your performance, and you're rehearsing for sure. So yeah, I say that can really help you out, and of course where you need to be for sure. So yeah, and of course another mistake that you pretty much anyone can make is of course skipping out dress rehearsal, hands down. How that alone is of course the number one factor when it comes to cosplay performance, hands down, because usually I think before the cosplay contest they would do like simple dress rehearsals beforehand to really get the staging going, hands down. So you gotta remember to actually show up to those prior to the pretty much the cosplay contest beforehand. But if you actually skip out on that, then chances are you're going to be disqualified for sure. So always remember to show up there when you actually can, if you really want to get your performance looking great before the main event for sure. So yeah, and of course another thing you can, and another mistake is of course that does happen is of course, well, not facing the audience for sure. So yeah, if you really want to present yourself in your performance, you always gotta remember to face the audience for sure. So I guess pretty much of anything, whether it be you be standing like this, or of course of anything like this, like what I'm demonstrating right now. That alone is of course something that you want to avoid for sure. So yeah, either way, I guess pretty much of anything, your performance should look great, hands down. But if you really want to pretty much face your performance in front of anybody, that would have to be the audience for sure. So So yeah, and of course another mistake that you can actually make in your performance is of course not acting in character, and of course not using the entire stage for sure. So yeah, if you really want to pretty much have a really good acting style hands down in your performance, you always gotta remember to pretty much act in character for sure. That could really help make your performance great. And if you really want to benefit, of course, the surroundings in your performance hands down, always remember to use the entire stage hands down. That could really help benefit you, and of course making your performance great for sure. So yeah, you can't limit yourself to, of course, one confined space within the stage for sure. You definitely gotta utilize the entire stage for sure. So whether it be stage center, or of course stage left or stage right, or all of the above, hands down. I say that is, of course, the most important thing if you really want to make your performance fantastic for sure. So yeah. And of course, pretty much of anything with all those that I've actually mentioned, that will of course lead to, of course, pretty much of anything, the most important factor, and that being, of course, acknowledging your mistakes and mishaps. So yeah, whatever the case may be, there will be several times where, of course, sometimes a performance will go wrong for sure, but of course, if you acknowledge your mistakes and your mishaps, hands down, that can really help you out, and of course, making your performance a whole lot better for sure. I dare even say, still making pretty much help benefiting, of course, your last performance going wrong, and of course, acknowledging what you did wrong, and of course, fixing up for the next gig that you want to work on for sure. So yeah, whatever the case may be, I think acknowledging and of course making common performance mistakes, yeah, usually it doesn't actually happen for sure. But of course, with the ones I've actually mentioned, and as long as you can acknowledge them, I think you're going to be in a really great spot for sure. So yeah. And so yeah, I guess with all that said and done, that's pretty much everything that I can say in the long run for sure. So yeah, with all those that I've actually mentioned in its entirety, I think pretty much of anything, those could really help you out in the long run if you really want to put together a really great cosplay performance for sure. I mean, yeah, it usually does take a whole lot of time in order to make it look great for sure. But as long as you've got the good ideas to really help make your performance look great for sure, I think you're going to be in a really great spot to really help you out, and of course, making it fantastic all the way. So yeah, and of course, as someone who has actually done a good number of performances and stuff in the past for sure, I'm actually really grateful to actually really benefit some really nice and unique ideas to really make a cosplay performance great for sure. So yeah, and of course, whatever the case may be, whether I would do it for a skit or of course pretty much a small performance, depending on what cosplay contest is in need of that for sure, I think we're going to be in a really great spot to, of course, be where we need to be for sure to really make this absolutely fantastic for sure. So yeah, and I know chances are for when I enter future cosplay contests at conventions later on down the road for sure, I definitely know hands down with all the cosplays I've actually got currently as of now, including what I have here to really demonstrate, of course, this subject matter. I'm really excited to see on what performances I can come up with for sure that could really benefit in the long run for sure, because if anything, I know Well, pretty much on my part, I don't want to see myself as another cosplayer for sure. Much like what I'm doing with my YouTube channel for well over 16 years now for sure. I basically see myself as just a basic entertainer for sure. That was pretty much on my mindset ever since I first started my online career, and that's something I want to keep on going with that hands down, especially with me exploring different mediums for sure. So yeah, whatever the case may be, I'll be really looking forward to seeing what else I'll come up with for my future performances hands down. So yeah. And of course, pretty much if anything, I know there are a lot of other people that will say the same thing, hands down for sure. So yeah, whatever the case may be, I think we're going to be in a really great spot to really make a cosplay performance absolutely fantastic all the way. So yeah, depending on, of course, which one that you can come up with, the one thing we all know hands down is that, well, we're guaranteed to put on such a fantastic show, hands down. So yeah. And so yeah, I guess with all that said and done, that'll pretty much do exactly that for this episode. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode of A Cosplayer's Guide to Success. And well, pretty much if anything, let me know down in the comments down below on what you think of this subject matter for sure. I would love to know on what you guys think. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say. Of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode. And well, once again, big special thanks to Novice Cosplay for as they're posting stuff on their social media and stuff. Really does helping, of course, serving as inspiration to make this episode for sure. So yeah, I'll be sure to provide links to their YouTube channel and their social media platforms down in the description box below if you want to check their stuff out for sure. So yeah, definitely check out Novice Cosplay if you got the time, and well, if you are willing to check out their stuff, be sure to tell them Ackley sent you. So yeah, that's pretty much what I can say, of course, that front for sure. And yeah, it was such a really great subject matter for me to talk about, as I really wanted to talk about this for sure. And well, I'm glad I did exactly that for this episode. So yeah, and I guess on that thought alone, I'll be quite excited to see on what other cosplay performance I can come up with later on down the road. And maybe I think I might come up with something quite interesting for sure with, of course, my ballerina Ruby Rose cosplay. I know there might be something ballet related that could work for Ruby. But hey, I'm sure I'll figure it out, whether it be by myself or maybe some help with, of course, my friends for sure. But I digress. So yeah, I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode. Now, if you'll excuse me, well, since I'm still in this cosplay, I think I might as well dance my way out of here. So yeah, I still can't help it hands down. So yeah, take care, guys. Oh my god, did I really knock over my laundry basket? Man, this is what I get for having this in the way. Wow. That's actually gonna make a really great blooper at the end of this episode. So yeah, I guess we're done here. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here, and oh my god, won't this video ever end? How many endings are there? Well, I kind of figure I do this last minute edition real quick, and obviously enough, I'm still in my ballerina Ruby Rose cosplay, to which,
yeah, I guess given to what you've seen in the episode, you can now see part of the tutu in full display. But that's not what I'm talking about for sure. So. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder at the end of today's episode that right around this weekend, I'm going to be attending Retro Game Con Spring Edition this year. So yeah, I'm really excited to be going this year because quite obviously enough, if you know me in my time at conventions for well over a decade now, I always love going to the main Retro Game Con event every single year for sure. And since I'm actually really looking forward to, of course, the one that's coming up this October for sure, I'm really looking forward to going to the one as a nice little warm-up before the main event for sure. So yeah. And of course, if you have seen my recent promo video that I put up on both of my channels right around on Mother's Day for sure. So yeah. Think of it as, of course, my nice little Mother's Day treat for all of my subscribers and their moms out there if they're watching this for sure. So yeah, I think I'm really excited to be going this year, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. And of course, as I've mentioned, it's going to be taking place at the brand new Elite Gaming Arena over at the Atrium building over at Clinton Square up in Syracuse, New York on Saturday, May 17th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And yeah, I'm really excited to go, and yeah, I guess pretty much as I see, I'm going to be there all day, and well, I am going to be cosplaying. Well, not particularly in this, though. That would be awesome. No, I'm actually going to be going as Amber from Genshin Impact. So yeah. I think it's what I decided to go for, hands down. And I really love cosplaying Amber for quite some time now. And I'm really looking forward to bringing that cosplay for that convention that'll be coming up. And of course, as usual, I'll be there as a regular attendee, which is pretty much back to basics for me as normal. And of course, if anything, I'm going to be giving away business cards to help advertise my YouTube channel for sure. So yeah, if by any chance you see me in person, then by all means, you're more than happy to take one of these business cards from me for sure, which are absolutely free. So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, on that front for sure. So yeah, I always love the guys at Retro Game Con as always, and with everything that they've done to make that convention bigger and better than ever, with of course last year being absolutely fantastic, pretty much on the same level as the one from 2022 for sure, and yeah, all that sort of stuff hands down. So yeah. Like I said, I really can't wait to go to Retro Game Con Spring Edition that'll be coming up right around this Saturday. And like I said, if you see me in person cosplaying as Amber from Genshin Impact, with of course me bringing Baron Bunny in addition to that, then by all means come on up to me and say hi. I would really appreciate that, hands down. So yeah, I think it's what I can say, of course, that front. Thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode of CGS, and don't worry, I will bring my Ballerina Ruby Rose cosplay for pretty much for a future convention later on. Maybe the main Retro Game Con event that'll be coming up pretty soon, and well, yeah, much like with my Ballerina Barbara cosplay, I think I will promise to do a nice little ballet dance for sure. So, yeah, couldn't resist myself since I'm still in this outfit. But yeah, regardless on that, I will definitely, I'll definitely let you guys know, of course, on that front. So yeah, I just want to get this ending big out real quick, just to really get that out there for sure. So yeah, I guess until then, thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode of CGS, and hopefully I think if I ever work on a future cosplay, or of course whatever subject matter that I want to talk about next that does involve cosplay for sure, I'll be sure to let you guys know, of course, that front. So yeah, but until then, thank you guys so much for watching this latest episode, and well, I'll definitely see you in the next one, or of course for another video that I'll actually work on later on down the road. But like I said, if you see me at Retro Game Con Spring Edition that's coming up this Saturday, then by all means, coming up to me and say hi. I hope to see all of you there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I'll definitely see you in the next video. But until then, cue those shoutouts to my supporters on Patreon. Take care.
Special thanks to all of my supporters on Patreon for making today's video possible, including my top tier supporters for this month, VD. So if you want to be like these guys and show your support to us, then go to patreon.com/AckleyTackTV to pledge now, do so, and get some awesome rewards within your budget. Hey guys, this is AckleyTack4427 here. Thank you all so much for watching today's video. Feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy what you're seeing. If you like what you see here and want to see more videos coming up, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button and switch on the notification bell to get notifications, and select all notifications to be notified for when we post a new video. And don't forget to switch on notifications on your phone as well. Also, don't forget to check out my second channel and our 2-member channel with Sam the Thomas Fan 1, SamAttack4427TheThomasFan1 Productions, for plenty more content you can't find on here. You can check both of our channels out with the links or by our handles provided on screen. Feel free to shoot me an email with my email address provided, backley95@hotmail.com, if you want to ask me a question, want to collab with me for a project you've got in the works, or if you want to book me to be featured for a convention coming up. Follow me on my social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up to date with me on updates, announcements, and new releases of my videos, as well as plenty of others I've got with my handles provided, as well as the links down in the description box below. Also, don't forget to follow me on TikTok for other videos I've got aside from the ones I've posted on YouTube, and on Twitch for any future live streams I've got coming up soon, as well as join our official Discord server to see what we've provided. If you wish to show your support to me, then feel free to check out my Patreon to get sneak peeks of my videos coming up before they go up online, as well as getting access to updates and playing more, in addition to getting some awesome rewards within your budget. Also, don't forget to check out and show your support to me on my wishlist on Amazon, and even supporting me at streamlabs.com/AckleyTackTV/tip that you can find in the description box below, as well as on my Twitch page. And in case you can't find any of the links that are provided, then not to worry about a thing. All the links and stuff are also provided on my link tree that you can also find in the description box below, as well as a few selected number of my social media pages. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Take care.